Today's gonna be a really quick video. I just wanna help you get through your milk supply much faster. So I'm gonna show you 3 ways you can use milk in very different ways and not just in your coffees or your pastries and cakes. And these are just 3 really quick functional recipes that are absolutely delicious and will just help you kind of finish off those bottles that you might have lying around. I'll show you how to make some fried milk, some homemade no churn ice cream, as well as a delicious paneer or cottage cheese, whatever you want to call it. Let's start with everyone's favorite, some homemade ice cream. Now, a lot of people obviously don't want to make it because you might not have churners at home or an ice cream machine, but this recipe works perfectly for those of you who just have a freezer to work with. It comes together really quickly. You just need to freeze it for a longer amount of time, but then you have freshly made ice cream at home the next day. For our milk and cream today, we'll be using Emborg dairy products. It's just the ones that we've had the most success with in terms of trying out these recipes and trying out all our other recipes that we make. And those are basically the 2 main ingredients that we're gonna be using throughout all these recipes today. So you want a perfectly kind of smooth consistency. After that, you're gonna let it cool down completely before we add in our whipped cream. And after that, you can then put it in the freezer for about 10 hours until the desired consistency is there. Try it. Adding that cream at the last minute and kind of folding that in helps keep it really creamy and not develop kind of like that iciness that a lot of no churn ice creams can give you. And this is just such a great base. We use white chocolate here, but obviously you can add in anything that you want, right? But in terms of the homemade ice cream no churn recipes that I've tried, this is probably one of the best in terms of consistency. Lovely.
So yes, I'm at home and I decided to kind of make this recipe again at home because fried milk should be something that's seemingly simple, but when we did it at the office, thought that freezing it for 1 hour should be enough versus kind of resting it in the fridge for a couple of hours or overnight. And what we realized was, 1, our container was too small and too kind of like short, so we didn't get kind of like these chunky pieces of fried milk, and then 2, it didn't kind of set all the way through, so I was a little disappointed with that. And I decided when I came home, I was really frustrated with it, so I wanted to do it again and try it again at home, and I'm so glad I did because it turned out really well. So a couple of things I did this time around that was different is, 1, I made sure to set fully the cornstarch into the pot while mixing it. This is kind of like the texture that you're looking for. It should be really thick and oozy, and just be patient with it. Don't whisk it, just use a spatula to kind of turn over and over again. Eventually you get something really nice, and then use a nice container that's deep enough. I actually left mine overnight. It was the best result that I could get for it. And I got these beautiful chunks that weren't too delicate to kind of move around. Then exact same thing, we're gonna dredge it into some cornstarch and then some eggs and then into some panko. I made sure to kind of make the panko finer. If you want to put that into a food processor or a blender as well to make it even finer, to get a nice even coating, then that's fine as well. And then finally, you're gonna heat up your oil to 130 degrees Celsius, and you're gonna cook these for about 4 or 5 minutes until they get nice and brown, and make sure you kind of turn them around so they don't burn on one side. And the result? Beautiful. This is something that I think looks really elevated, but is really cheap to make. Perfect for your leftover milk. Something that if you have a dinner at home, absolutely amazing. People will be kind of like amazed by the texture and think that it's really complicated to make, but it's actually very straightforward. Let's give this a try. Much better, much fuller than the previous one we made. This is what it should taste like. Soft, creamy, gooey inside, but kind of like that crispy exterior that just separates slightly from the creaminess of the filling.
So when I was thinking of a Filipino sauce that would work well with paneer, I just gravitated towards this like cheap Kare-Kare sauce because I thought the combination would be really good. Let's give it a try. Yeah, that works really well. My favorite paneer dish is a palak paneer, which is usually a blended spinach sauce with a bunch of spices. So it kind of reminds me of that. Way less vegetables, obviously. Yummy.